Okay, so we have our little circles down here. You see how important that is when we're zoomed in. Let me just show you something about the unwarped. Okay, we have here our basic 7L pattern. Where did all this come from? Okay, this is an unwarped pattern like Mr. Scott says. Okay, so what we've got here is an S2C here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. We have an S23C down here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. We have an S3D here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, and an S3D here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2. And in the middle we have an S3XL, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that gives us our long pattern. So not only do we want to play the G shape, so we've got our cage shapes, C, A, G, E, and D shape. We also want to play the long patterns. Here's the long pattern stack. As it stacks up, as you can see, it goes off to the right. So it's good for playing away from the fret nut. Long pattern's also good for playing, you know, for a pattern that starts on a note. So the long pattern there, the S3XL, starts on, there's the 5, which is the Mixolydian. If you do a diatonic from there, you get your Ionian if you do a diatonic from the root, and you get your Lydian, especially if you do a diatonic from the Lydian. Just keep in mind we go back into the short patterns, so there's no shortage of short patterns in the long patterns. Okay, so that's what that is. And this is basically, the white notes are just the root triad. Okay, so it's 3, 5 root, 3, 5 root, 3, 5 root. Minor, if we just go, okay, like this, 3, 5, root 3, 6. 3, 6 root, 3, 6 root, 3, 6 root. Minor. Half diminished. That's through the long pattern now. Half diminished, we're going to just, instead of doing a substitution for the second, which is, of course, we can take a D minor and raise it to what appears to be a minor of a D minor, which is a half diminished, right? Kind of thing. It looks that way if we did take the root here and just raise the 5th to the 6th. Okay, and we could do that with the 4th and raise the root to the 2nd and get the 2nd minor. We can do it with the 5th and raise the 5th to the 6th and get the 3rd minor. And you know, it makes sense that we could take the 2nd minor and raise its local 5th to the 6th, like that, and get the half diminished. So that's what that is. So it's just 4, 7, 2. Okay, 4, 7, 2, 4, 7, 2. And then, you know, depending on which cage you're in, you look at the short patterns here. Now, let me just, I have to straighten out something from yesterday. With the half diminished 7, we could actually just play that pattern. If you look at the C box, okay, if we look at the C box, if we wanted to, actually, that would be an F half diminished. We could play an F half diminished. Here's the root F, okay, in the E position. All right, so here's our root. We could play an F half diminished by just doing the 7 root 2 like that, and we could do that not in the long, we don't need the long patterns to explain what I'm trying to explain to you. So we can do this here. This is the S4E pattern, okay? So remember, even though we're playing this F here in chord, barred chord, really the pattern, the E string shape is goes 7 root 2. So we can start an S4E, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4. Okay, and indeed we're looking at a half diminished Locrian scale, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Remember, Locrian has a dominant seventh, like that. So in that case, that is our root half diminished. Okay, so we would use that 7, 2, let's see, 7, 2, okay, the second of F is G, so it'd be 7, 2, 4, and then 7, 2, 4, 2, 4. Okay, now this 2, 4 is kind of a big interval. Let's try that one more time. We got 7 to 2, and then we have 4. Okay, now that really should be the that's in the key of C, that B. The B is the Lydian fourth of F. Okay, so at that point, let's see, we might want to do it up here. Okay, where the 7 is actually the B, so it'd be 7, 2, 4, 7, 2, 4. Okay, so you know, there's a little bit of where you're going to play it in that, and I prefer to play it in C. I usually play it up top where we played it. If we're going to do the diminished for the F, you know, it's going to be 7, 2, 4, okay, and then 7, 2, 4, kind of thing. That half diminished for the F. You got your F here, and then you're going to take it down to half diminished. Okay, sorry about that, but that's what's going on with the 7 root 2. You can pretty much get away with playing that half diminished seventh. That's why I was saying in the C box, you can do that F half diminished just with 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2. There's your, you can do the whole thing. You don't have to do the long pattern, is what I'm saying. Not in the C box, and the C box does have a half diminished, but it's the half diminished of the F. Does that make sense? Oh, there you go. And similarly, I'm sure in the E box, you know, we could do some tricks up there with the C shape. Anyway, the crux of this chart here now, we could just spend a minute on this first, and that is, once again, we've got an unwarped perfect fourth fretboard here, and we have major and minor arpeggios going off to the left. And I want to mention something about when it goes off to the left like that. I'll say, so it would be root 3, 5, up root 3, 5. That's the pattern that we're looking for. And then with minor, it's just root minor third 5, root minor third 5. That's the only reason I indicate this as flatted, just in relation to this. But I want to show you a trick up here. Okay, so let's look at the other fretboard. Okay, so this is yesterday's, so it's chart 257. I had said 247, it's 257. And I want to show you a little trick here. And we're heading up to the end of the segment, so it has to do with when we're going up and off to the left, okay, which would be going like, you know, from here it'd be 3, 4, 5, like that, and then to like a 5, 6 there. So we're kind of going up and off to the left, up to the strings, and towards the fret nut. I'm going to show you a trick. Okay, so stay tuned.